Welcome to the Sacad Guled Show, your front row seat to the journeys of innovators, leaders, and changemakers, redefining what's possible. I'm your host, Sacad Guled. Today, I've got my friend, Jeff. Welcome, man. How you doing?
I'm doing marvelous. Every day's a great day.
It's a great day for sure. For those who don't know Jeff, a lot of people here in Minnesota know him for his stylish suits, the RealSuitGuy. Is that your
RealSuitGuy?
On his handles. Jeff is a seasoned professional with a decade experience in retail, from sales, regional sales management. He's opened stores, built teams, and shaped client experience through strong leadership, merchandising and advertising and all. Beyond his career, Jeff is a devoted father and a husband, something that he really takes pride in.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the show, my friend, like I said.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, take us back. How did you get into this fashion thing?
So in high school, people would work like a summer job or something. They'd save up for like a bike or something like this. I saved up and I bought suits, which is not your typical high school dude.
Yeah.
I've just always enjoyed clothing. And as a result, when I graduated college, I went to what at that point was kind of the premier retailer in the Twin Cities. It was a store called Anthony's. And if ever there was something that was environmentally or spiritually like Martin Patrick, it would have been that show or that store. So it was really nice, very eclectic and empowered, and putting together outfits for people from multiple vendors. So that was sort of my start in the working world. And I've been in a lot of different roles since, but just always enjoyed retail.
Awesome. Yeah, retail it's a great space where especially you get to meet a lot of people. I always say, meeting you, when I first met you, I was really happy about that, because not only do you always advise people to what looks good on them, but it's just the experience. And, just before we even started this segment, how we were talking about Diridawa and how your daughter was, over there, and great sense. So how did you come up with the name, The RealSuitGuy? Because I know you have a huge following in Instagram, and a lot of people really, know you as The RealSuitGuy. How did that come?
So my Gmail that I've had way longer than Instagram has been in existence was The Suit Guy. And by the time I got onto Instagram, The Suit Guy was taken. And that's just kind of the closest I could come. So RealSuitGuy was born, and I've been doing that for years. And I've never used it as a sales tool, even though I've been in retail my whole life. I really only think of it as a shared passion with others around the world and friends. So to me, it is just, we all love clothes, and show me what you're wearing today. It's nothing more than that, really.
Yeah. I know you've got a lot of suits. Do you wear suits every day, or it's just kind of how you feel?
There are very few people who wear suits for their job these days. And as a result, I need to dress appropriately for the people I'm selling. So I have enough suits to wear a suit every day, but it's not necessarily the right thing to wear for the people who you are trying to dress for their day. You want to emulate your clients' needs so that you're demonstrating more than anything. So I'll wear a suit, but more than anything, I think clothing, regardless of what you're wearing, is a sign of respect for those with whom you're meeting. So today, meeting you, I thought, I'm going to dress up. I am the RealSuitGuy. I respect you. And I also thought this is a sign of respect for those with whom we are engaging, speaking in front of today. And we got to respect that.
I'm really honored, man, because it's honor for me to have you in here.
Thank you.
So the fact that you're really paying a tribute to me and dressed nice, with that Xenia made to measure, right? Double-breasted.
They used to say, this says The Suit Guy.
Yeah.
Instead of RealSuitGuy. My current one say RealSuitGuy.
Yeah, so I'm really I thank you so much for I wore this today. This beautiful Isaiah corduroy, sold by you. And I was like, I almost wore a suit today, because
well,
this is Zenith.
You could move over one room, put a suit on, and come right back. I know this.
So, over there, next door, right?
But I also feel like this environment is a relaxed environment as well.
Yeah.
So I think your attire is appropriate. I think you innately understand how to dress appropriately for the environment you're going to be going into.
Yeah, for sure. I always read the room, like you said, I dress for the occasion. So if I had to meet executives or, trying to close deals or whatever, obviously I put one of my best suits. But, meeting you today, even though I always respect you, but I was like, this is, I'm dedicating this to him, this is a piece that I really love. It's not your everyday piece, so I was like, I'm going to put this for Jeff today. And
that's what I've always wanted to sell people.
Yeah.
I don't have to sell you everything that you wear. That's not my deal.
Yeah.
But I want to sell you the things that end up being your favorites.
By far.
Because it was years ago, there was a regional vice president named Randy Loomis. And I worked at the downtown Dayton's, and the executives were all in the same building, but floors up. And a new suit came in a model that I'd never seen before. And it was just so exciting to me. So I'm all thrilled about this model. He's walking by, and I say, Randy, you have to come see this. You have to come see this.
Yeah.
And he bought the suit because he couldn't help himself because I was so enthusiastic. And he later said, I didn't need a suit, but it's like your enthusiasm was so contagious. And I just thought, I thought that stuck with me all this time. Enthusiasm sells.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it is contagious.
Oh, yeah.
And then people share your passion. So there are a lot of things in the store that I don't necessarily recommend because I don't necessarily believe in them. But the things that I think can be special to someone, oh my God, I'm behind them 100%.
Yeah.
I just want to share my love of that product and what I think it could mean to someone. You maybe have heard me tell this, and I think it's probably what I get to do best. In my industry, I kind of have access to a lot of clothes, whether it's a vendor wanting us to experience their product or whatever.
Yes, you do.
So I love clothes, and I'm around clothes, and I fall in love with things coming in. So it's like somebody who likes animals, so they work at the Humane Society. They love all the puppies. Can you take all the puppies home? You can't take all the puppies home. Your life would be miserable. So you have to find a home that will love the puppy. So that's how I view what I do at work.
Yeah.
Some clothes come in and I just love them. And I will try and place that in a home where it will be loved.
Yeah.
So the fact that this coat, it feels special. It feels like something you really love. That's exactly what I want to put in people's hands. Because then you're really going to enjoy. You're going to feel good when you're in it too.
100%. No, I say it's one of my favorite brands. Before we move into the next question that I have for you, what are some of your top brands? Some of your favorite brands? I have to ask you that because I know you.
Sure, and I get it. I have favorites that are personal favorites. But in my mind, each of these designers or brands speak to a different need or a different purpose.
For sure.
So maybe your lifestyle aligns with what a vendor is doing, in which case it's appropriate for you. Maybe a designer has a physical silhouette that fits your physical silhouette better than the others, in which case that aligns with you. But if you look across brands and pick and choose the items that they offer, that's the best of all worlds. So although I love Cucinelli because how couldn't you?
Yeah.
But then you think the heritage of the company is cashmere sweaters, super comfortable sweaters. And then their suits kind of just feel like a sweater on, and their pants are casual. I mean, it flows from the intent or the origins of the company. If you want to look at Zegna, they are a fabrication house more than anything else. The majority of their business is making fabrics. It's not making clothing. So although this is a Zegna suit, the real magic is, oh my God, what a beautiful fabric. And that really subtle, sorry you can't see it, blue stripe in there, is their heritage. So that's something that will it will be a power suit. So I may have favorite brands for different purposes. If you want to look sexy in a suit, you buy Isaiah. Oh my God, you will never look better. They just flatter.
Without a doubt.
But then that's Northern Italian, Zegna, Brioni, Canali versus Southern Italian. It's hotter in Southern Italy, so they take the guts out, so it's softer. It can be closer to the body, and then it's Southern, so you want some bright colors.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's more fun.
Yeah.
So each of these have purposes, and it's one of the joys that I get to do is people will come in and they want to buy some clothes from me, and it's a suit. I'll say, well, what is the purpose of the suit? And if you're giving a speech in front of 50 or more people, I'm going to sell you a different suit than if you're buying a suit to go to a wedding. You need to understand the purpose of what it's supposed to serve versus just liking a designer. So I may have favorites, but I think the purpose of the item of clothing is probably paramount in how you decide what it is you buy.
Oh, so much knowledge there.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's definitely needed for the viewers out there, because not everybody understands that. There's so much that I learn from you every day. But Cucinelli and Zegna are my top 2 favorites.
Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, and you know that
this is the clothing of the 1%, I would say. But then there is a concept in Europe that you just sort of buy the best you can, and then you just wear the heck out of it.
For sure.
Why not present the best that you can?
For sure.
And then get a lot of use out of it.
Yeah, and 100% right there. But one of the reason why I love Zegna, Cucinelli, it's the quiet luxury. I don't like things that scream.
Not showy.
For sure. I can still buy a piece that's really expensive, but it seems like, it just doesn't scream. The LV, the Burberry,
Yeah.
the stuff like that. So
I think given the preeminence of social media, the people who are trying to claw their way to bigness or greatness are trying to flash some things like that.
For sure.
Versus a quiet luxury sort of thing where it's like, that's the person that maybe in their mind, they've made it. It doesn't matter whether they're on top or they're climbing or whatever.
For sure.
They're already there in their own mind and they're sharing what they know.
Yeah. No, it's Cucinelli will forever be, and Zegna will forever be on my top. You've worked your way up sales to regional management. What key lessons have you learned along the way?
Do the job you're in the best that you can. Interestingly enough, very few of the promotions in my life have I ever asked for. I've simply been offered them by the people who have noticed what I have done in my current role. So I remember that regional position, and they called and they said, would you be interested in this position? I said, that's great. And then I didn't hear it, and I finally called up and I said, am I going to interview for this? And they said, yeah, no, you don't need to interview for the job.
We'll just give it to you.
You've got it. We know you. And I just thought, well, okay, that's a pretty cool testament to the fact that they see the value that I can bring to that position. And in fact, it was a great job. It was a lot of fun.
Where was this at?
This was at Macy's.
Oh, okay.
And I had been at Dayton's and knew the executives that transitioned into the Macy's name. So they still knew me. And then I'd done an interim position. Well, interim. It was a great job. Opening stores for Scott Kuhlman, the Kuhlman shirt shops that popped up across the United States. I think we ended up with a total of just under 50 stores, high 40s. I opened 23 stores for them.
Wow, congratulations. That's amazing. That's a lot.
It was a ton of fun. Yeah, to go in and hire a manager and have them build a team, help them build a team, and literally build the store out from in the trade, I think it's called a vanilla box, meaning it's simply the shell of the store. You paint it, you put up fixturing, you unpack the product, make it look good, hire a staff, build out your sales point of sale system. Yeah.
So did you do a lot of traveling?
I did a lot of traveling. And I didn't do a job or accept a job like that until my children were at a point where they didn't need me around day in, day
For sure.
out.
Oh, it's smart.
They were in college while I was doing that, so it wasn't like I was depriving them of myself or my attention at that point. So yeah, it was a really fun job to do. I never worked harder and never had more fun. And I think a lot of it was because I got to wear so many hats. I would arrive at this location, get the keys from whoever we were leasing this from, and then meet a semi, which would unload. Here's your store, right, right into your space in boxes. Unbox, paint the shelf, mount the shelves. I ended up doing more and more of it by myself because anytime they would hire painters, I'd have to sit, twiddle my thumbs, wait for the painters to come do this. Or then if we had people who were going to be mounting shelving on the wall, I'd have to sit and wait for them. So I would travel with a big toolbox. Of course, you have to check. It's all metal sharp things.
For sure.
And I would then I'd get there. I knew the paint numbers and everything like that. I'd buy all the painting stuff. I'd paint the shelf. I'd put up the shelf. I'd just build all this. And while I was doing it, I would have people come through that I would interview.
Yeah.
So I was building the team. I was doing that, and just in talking with them while I was working, it's super helpful. It's a much more casual environment too, instead of sitting across a desk from somebody. And I would learn if these were people who just like, oh, let me grab this and help you. You learn about people when you're simply doing things.
Yeah.
Particularly side by side.
Hands on. All day.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
Whether they're willing to roll up their sleeves
or not, right?
Or not.
It all depends. Well, that's speaking of Macy's, that was my first sales job.
Wow.
When I was younger. Because I remember first it was Dayton's, and then they did Marshall Fields.
That was kind of a name change, but yes.
Right? And then Macy's. So I think I was there from 99 to 2000. I still remember Young Men's. I don't know if you remember the one in downtown. A lady named Jill was my manager. I still haven't forgotten because that was my first job, sales job. As a young boy. On the first level, they had the market,
marketplace.
The marketplace, where they had the food, the coffee and all that good stuff. So I enjoyed it. Learned so much from it. You have been in this industry for so long. There are a lot of people that criticize fashion right now that feel like fashion is fading because of the pieces that people put on nowadays. How did fashion evolve ever since you've been in it?
So this is interesting because just in the last year, this is a realization that I came to. And that is, if you look at sort of the center of where all the buyers go, they go to Pitti Uomo in Milan. And it's there because of heritage, because there's a deep community of tailors there.
Yes.
And the tailors are all about, it's a new season. The lapel is 1/8 of an inch narrower, and the gorge is a little deeper, and this is a little higher, and the shoulder's a little softer and a little narrower. But so what they've done mentally, they're tweaking this same old. And don't get me wrong, I love tailored clothing. I'm the real suit guy.
Yes.
But there is an entire generation of people out there who at this point have not been raised in an environment where to go to work, you're in a suit. To be at the office, you're in a suit. So I think where Pitti Uomo, Milan, where they are following this idea of the latest trend is a slight variation on the suit, doesn't answer the need of the person who has only ever gone to the office in something more casual. And that's why I think there are varying levels of dressiness in not a suit. For instance, what you have on, it's a gorgeous piece. That's the kind of thing that if you could go to any office, really, these days, and look really nice. So we need to understand that what they are looking for in fashion isn't the latest suit. And the changes in suits are too microscopic to represent the level of fun that you want when you're buying new clothes.
Yes.
So in my mind, the Southern Europe / Italy idea of slow change on basic classic pieces isn't keeping pace with what people want to be putting on of this next generation that wasn't raised around suits.
Yeah, for sure.
So now you see fashion being led by, I want to say fast fashion, but they're not necessarily the leaders. They're just kind of knocking off. But you see a phenomenal young company like NN07, No Nationality, out of Copenhagen. And you see Amsterdam designers, and you see Isabelle Marant coming out of Paris, and Dries Van Noten. And these people are designing not suits, but phenomenal sportswear.
Yeah, for sure.
And very wearable pieces. And they can change their styles a little faster. And it can be boxy one season and add a new flavor. And people go, I like this. This is different from what I own. So I'm buying some newness, which is fun. So I think the psychological center of fashion is moving north in Europe.
No, it's definitely agree. You just named some of my favorite, brands. I love Dries Van Noten. I love Officine.
Paris, Officine Generale.
Yeah,
very good.
Officine Generale.
Nice, comfortable, loose pieces.
So cool. Vince, all of these streetwear, that a lot of people don't really know about.
But it's sportswear coming to the front of fashion.
For sure.
Versus tailored leading fashion. So I think that's a major shift in our lifetime.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Would you advise that every man should have at least one tailored suit?
Only if he respects himself. Yes. And clearly you're not going to buy your one suit and spend, $4,000 on it if you don't wear it that often. Unless you just have stupid money to throw away. But it shouldn't be an inexpensive suit, or it won't do what the suit is supposed to do for you, which is flatter you, which is, of course, the purpose of any clothing. But to a certain extent, and I've counseled people before, they want to buy a suit and they want to buy a really nice suit. And I'm aware that they're not going to wear it very much. And I will say, I think you're over-investing. Now, as a commission salesperson, it's kind of a dumb thing to come out of my mouth, but I've never...
You're honest guy.
I'm honest. And I've often said to my clients, the most valuable thing I say to you is no.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll go, Jeff, should I get this expensive piece?
Hey, man, you've said that to me.
I said no to you before. You came into my suits, and I'm going, you've got suits and you don't wear them as often as day in, day out. Yeah.
My last visit.
But I know it's your passion.
No, I love suits. I do have a lot of suits.
Yeah.
Do I wear them every day? No, because like you said, with fashion evolving, I mean, this is a respectable
absolutely
piece where I can go anywhere, with my Xenia pants, with my Xenia triple stitch, I don't necessarily have to wear suits every single day.
Right. And I think office wear has changed, where the suit isn't expected and even kind of maybe ostracized, because it's like, well, where's he going after this? Does he have a job interview somewhere?
Yeah.
But in my mind, what people are looking for to be appropriate in office now is the magic third piece. We can have a shirt, we can have pants, and they can be varying degrees of dressiness. But what's the third piece that kind of completes it? And it's not going to be a sport jacket. It's not going to be a suit jacket.
Yeah.
And this sort of thing, the shirt jacket, answers that. And a really nice sweater can answer that. A cardigan. I think where people miss out is understanding the importance of that third piece and how it can elevate or detract from your outfit. If you think putting on a cowboy sweatshirt is your third piece, then you're not going to any office that's going to see you as a promotable person.
For sure.
And in my mind, dress for the position you want, not the position you're in.
Yeah, for sure.
You won't be seen as such.
No, definitely.
I used to ride the bus to work when I was living in Linden Hills and commuting to downtown Minneapolis. And I overheard a conversation because the seat was 6 inches in front of me.
Yeah.
And one of these, they were going to the same office. And the one guy gets on after the other person. They didn't get on at the same time. He goes, oh, hi, Fred. And he goes, oh, are you going in? Like he didn't know if he was going in because he couldn't tell from what he was wearing. And he said, yeah, I'm going in. He said, you think you wear that? He said, I think I can get away with this at the office. Yeah, see? And I'm thinking, if you're dressing to the minimum level, how promotable do you think you're going to be perceived of as that environment?
100%, because
I'm going to try and get by with the minimum? Oh my God. That stuck with me. That's something I could not forget.
Yeah. That means you're not really ready to grow, and that's kind of it's kind of crazy because me too. Sometimes I see people at a nice environments, either even if it's a gathering, right, or if it's a good dinner, and people are really underdressed, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what's going on?
Well,
like
fair or not, you will be judged by what you wear.
100%.
And if that is the first impression you're giving off, example, the people at a dinner party, and you're going like,
Yeah,
who is this?
a lot of people will argue nowadays. In fact, I had a discussion with a young dude the other day, and he was like, man, whatever I wear don't really define who I am. True. It's a true statement.
Yeah.
I'm not really arguing that. When that statement is true, though, when you are Steve Jobs or Mark Zuckerberg, right?
Sure.
When you've made in life and people know who you are, you can wear the great t-shirt and the blue jeans and then, the New Balance shoes every single day because people know who you are. But if you're not known and you're nobody out there, it does matter what you put on. Yeah. So I just want to, put it out there.
It's that first impression, and right or wrong, you will be judged.
You will, 100%. I'm the days that I wear suits and the days that I don't, people see you different. It's
I have a client, and he just gets investors for businesses that he's set up. So he literally lives out of a suitcase, and he always wore suits. And I said, no, you need to buy this when bright blue was first entering the men's suit and sport coat world. And I sold him this bright blue Xenia travel sport coat. And he was skeptical at first, but he could see that it was really handsome on. He buys it and he goes out. He comes back 6 months later and he said, I call it the magic sport coat. He said, when I go into a restaurant in that sport coat, they give me the best table. When I'm in a room speaking, everyone's turned and watching me. He said, that is the magic sport coat. It's just like people stop and listen when I'm talking if I have that sport coat on. So it isn't about that sport coat exactly, but it is about the power of what you have on and how it can help you achieve whatever you need to in a room, whether it's get attention and or simply look like you have respected the environment you've walked into.
For sure.
It's important.
Yeah, no, definitely. Is fashion confidence?
I think of fashion as a different thing from how you maybe want to present yourself. If you want to be thought of as a fashionable person, absolutely. If you want to be thought of as well-dressed, do it your way. Think of the environments you're in and then dress appropriately. You always look fashionable. Yeah. But high fashion is an entirely different thing. And if you look at, for example, GQ magazine. Yes. And they had their like 10 dress best or 10 best outfits. And one of them was like a backless thing on a man with it was fashion that wouldn't even survive the month or a second wearing. So I think fashion doesn't necessarily track with reality as much as maybe it used to. Yeah.
No, I couldn't agree. There was a video a couple years ago that was trending so much by Steve Harvey. You can make 75 suits out of those 4 suits. So, right? So where I'm going with this is, as a man, and we're going to move other parts of this segment, but I want to close the fashion piece with this. As a man, what color suits are must? If you want to give me 5 or 4.
If the purpose of the suit is to be
in general, just a man,
well, then a navy suit.
Okay.
Because by and large, it's most flattering.
Okay.
Now, under a navy suit, you put a white shirt. And a white shirt says, I'm serious about what I'm doing.
Yes, for sure.
If you're wearing a gray suit and you put a white shirt, you can kind of pale out. You can wash out. So you always do blue under gray. Now, I hate to think of that as a rule, but what the well-dressed people, and I've learned this just sort of, it's kind of universal because I hear this from Italian influencers on Instagram as well. And that is learn the rules, then break them. Because then you'll understand how your style might cause you to want to do something that varies from the rule. But yeah, first suit, navy.
Gray.
Yeah, it's interesting because when people come in and they want more suits, and they'll go, oh, I love this one because it's flashy. And I'll go, well, that's a 5th suit. Okay. Go, what? I'm going, you need navy, gray, and then maybe a navy pattern and a gray pattern before you start going into, a brown, an orange plaid suit.
Yeah.
You can't start there unless you're Steve Harvey.
Yeah, right. Unless you see our, yeah. No, for sure, for sure. Black used to be like a must-have in my opinion, or a lot of people's opinion. But right now, I feel like
Black will look good or not good on people.
Yeah,
Navy pretty much flatters everybody.
Everything. No, navy is my favorite color.
Yeah.
I have, I think, four navy suits.
Don't even say.
And you know it too.
People are listening.
Yeah, right. No, take that back. But no, navy is my favorite color. But I feel like gray is a must. Tan, brown, those are like my go-to suits. But thanks for putting that together. Especially people that didn't know, if you have a gray on, blue is like
it will look better.
Yeah, blue
in
will
a
look
job
good.
interview, blue is perceived of as friendly. So a blue shirt near your skin, you'll look healthy and you'll be perceived of as friendly.
You heard it, especially the young ones out there who are trying to, make a name for themselves. I'm gonna have to ask you some leadership and management questions. You've led teams, hired and fired teams, opened stores. What's the most important quality in a store retail leader?
I guess direction. Leaders need to give direction. The hiring and firing can happen from somebody else. Sure, certainly you'd have a hand in that. But when you are leading something, people look to you for direction. If you get below that, you're in the weeds and you may be doing a job that you should have somebody else doing for you. As a leader, you should be giving the overall direction and then coaching people as to how they are either going that direction and or how they are varying from it and can get back to that direction.
Beautiful. And how do you build a winning culture within that retail environment?
And here I would say all of this as a qualifier.
Okay.
When I was put in a leadership role to try and help fix, it was at that point a Macy's store that had been going down in sales each year. And I did turn it around. But I think leadership is actually one of my weaknesses because I go into it expecting everybody to work as hard as I work. And when you come into an environment where it's a more get by, I think I can get by doing this amount of work. I can get by leaving at this time in this day. That's a very difficult culture to change. And in a larger corporation, you may want to fire those people. And there's so much oversight in a larger corporation that you maybe just can't. So when I went into a Macy's store, I wanted to kind of clean out the management team and I was not allowed to. Meaning I had to move forward with people who weren't willing to roll up their sleeves and work at the store the way I did. I ended up needing to sort of more coach than anything else. And although I did turn the store around, it was not a simple thing. And ultimately, half of the managers all left in handcuffs because the company finally realized that they were just stealing from us.
Well,
and that's never fun. But I mean, these were people that had they allowed me to put in my team, it never would have been an issue. And I think we could have done more for that store. But part of what I learned is I'm too nice. I'm not a hard ass.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm a little bit Pollyanna. I see the good in people.
Yeah.
And I always try and see the good in people. And sometimes it bites me just because I'm not ready to shove people out the door. I want to give people a chance. So as a leader, I don't know that I'm that great.
No.
Do I have wisdom?
You do. A lot of wisdom.
I'm full of it.
No, you're and I really appreciate you for saying that, because everybody know their weaknesses. Everybody know
if
what
they're smart, they know their weaknesses.
Right.
Otherwise, they're trying to cover them up, in which case it's worse.
No, seriously. And the fact that you have, which I know also, that you have a lot of wisdom, but leadership is not for you. Because leadership is, in my book, it's you can still be nice, but people will see you as an asshole. You know, you're not out there to be liked.
Yeah.
You know, you're out there making decisions that favorites the, you know.
Yeah, no, this is kind of clear from what you post on Instagram as far as your sort of bits of wisdom.
Yeah, for sure, because it's lonely at the top.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you have to make some tough decisions and people won't like you for it,
yeah,
I mean, so be it, you know.
So when I left that position of store manager, I went straight back to a retail sales floor. I felt so much better day in, day out. It was so nice not to have employees and to just be working for myself.
Oh.
So I felt as if I found my real comfort zone, my real relaxation, my real point of joy.
You knew what you...
I didn't need to carry all that other stuff. It just was a burden. And although I'm a happy person no matter where I am.
You are.
It was a lighter load mentally.
Yeah.
Which gave me more time for my family. So that
beautiful.
That was fun.
No, definitely. You know, at least you identified what makes you happy, right? And we always have to do what makes us happy. When you think about merchandising and advertising, what separates an average store from a great one?
I think it's the owners or the people who are running it putting their heart into it. And I have worked in all sorts of different environments. And where I work now, the owners are smart and they empower the people who work for them. That's key. If you try and direct everything, it won't work. I did a job interview, and here I'm going to be a little coy for a major company. And I ended up talking with the CEO for maybe 2.5 hours, which is not a normal interview. But we got along really well. He really liked me. And he was probably one of the smartest people I've ever met.
Okay.
And it was clear that he was a brilliant man. And later, and I knew a lot of the people who ultimately ended up working for him, just having worked with them in the past. Retail's a community, so you know a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
And what they said was the environment is just what I had thought it would be. He may be the smartest guy in the room, but he thinks he's the smartest guy in the room. So as far as building a good team, he didn't empower them to do what they did best. And my thought would be, in any given corporate conference room, the total of the intelligence in the room is greater than any one of the participants.
For sure.
So when you have someone like that who is really intelligent, but then doesn't listen to the others, okay, he's great, but he's limited. He hasn't expanded to the full intelligence of the group of people, just using his own. So you end up with employees who are not motivated, and you end up with just a narrower vision of what can happen. So that's less leading, which you should be doing, and then empowering people, than it is just telling everybody what to do. That kind of environment is not going to foster growth or success in my mind. You need all the horses pulling for you instead of one guy just saying, this is what we're doing.
Beautiful. No, I couldn't agree more. Because I met, what's his name? Dana? Was it Dana?
Dana Swindler?
Yeah.
No, Dana and Greg, Dana Swindler and Greg Walsh.
Yeah.
One of the owners of Martin Patrick.
Yes.
They are brilliant, passionate people.
Yeah.
And they understand how to bring out the best in everybody who works for them.
Yeah.
And as a result, the environment's phenomenal.
No, definitely. And in fact, I tell people, you know, when people like ask me, you know, where do I get my pieces from? You know, MP3, you know, and you introduced me to Dana, and it was a pleasure meeting him, you know. Dana,
was that Entrepreneur Huddle? Or was it before that?
No, that was when I wanted to do the book signing.
Oh yeah.
In the store, which we're still working on.
Yeah. Bring a stack of books and we'll pick a date.
Yeah. So I remember how welcoming he was, how he told me, you know, welcome to Open Arms, and you know, we really appreciate the business. And I always tell people, you know, if you want a good suit, a great suit made, just go go see my guy, go to MP3, they're the best in the business. I'm serious, ever since I really, found MP3, I think I've been really satisfied with my wardrobe,
Feels like home, and there are a lot of people who work there who are really
a lot. Yeah. So shout out to the whole team, what's his name? Nick, we got two Nicks who always say, because I feel like I'm part of the team now, right?
That's exactly how you should feel.
Right.
It feels like such a happy place to the people who work there.
Oh, 100%.
And by and large, it feels like a happy place to the people who come in. That is success.
Yeah, 100%.
Creating an environment that can be
so
to everybody.
Shout out to Nick Gorman.
Nick Gorman.
My other guy, Nick, Chanel's there now.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of cool people, man. I really love MP3. And shout out to the whole team. We're in a age right now where a lot of people shop online. Right? You probably know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
How has e-commerce changed the way physical stores operate and compete?
It's interesting. I had heard that MP3 dabbled in putting what they had online originally.
Mm-hmm.
But in my mind, when you're online, it's a race to the bottom.
Yes.
Because if you see an item for $1 less at a different website, they're going to get that business. And you're voting with your dollars every time you make a purchase. And are you voting for a child labor out of China? Are you voting for this being made in Bangladesh where the employees are not treated well? Or are you voting with your dollar for an Italian craftsman who is still practicing his trade of tailoring that was handed down to him from his father? So every decision you make has a ripple effect on what happens, which is why you see massive container ships coming across the ocean packed with inexpensive goods. So I am of the mind of understanding how you vote with your dollars when you spend those. And I think the internet and sales of clothing online has been a huge lever in pushing things toward bad work environments and bad occupations for a lot of the people producing the product.
Yeah.
And that just seems globally hurtful. So I have a hard time endorsing that. If there's some rare item that you want to find, you can find it now.
Yeah, for sure.
And that, I think, is the real advantage of the global marketplace.
Yeah. No, definitely, because a lot of people, I've bought stuff online before, and sometimes, it's a risk.
We all have. Me too.
Right? The sizing, because every brand fits differently, right? For the people who are watching. And there are times that I ordered like L, and then it's like a small L.
Yeah.
Or it's either big L, So it's like the inconsistencies just for me just doesn't work per se. And I rather go to the store.
It's a gamble.
Yeah, for sure.
But being able to put something on and touching things and feeling what the fabric feels like, all of that is part and parcel of understanding what you prefer of one item over another. One of the virtues of Martin Patrick is they have such a wide array of vendors.
Yeah.
And in big cities, it's like, how does Minneapolis have this store? Well, you go to big cities and they have great shopping, but the great shopping is a Ferragamo store, a Prada store, and all of these. So if you actually want to walk out of these stores in an outfit, you look like one of their ads. You're head to toe.
Yeah, for sure.
Whereas a store like Martin Patrick, I love these pants from 11.
Yeah.
I
love 11. I
love this sweater from NN07.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this jacket from Macaj. This is all killer stuff. Yeah. And you've put together a unique look from the world's best vendors.
100%. Agreed.
That's the fun of that.
I don't know how I forgot about 11. And, it's another favorite of mine. No, it's true. MP3 is very unique. Like, imagine I would never found out who Mateus is, right? For example.
Yeah. And he's the coolest guy.
Right? And his pieces are like so unique.
Yeah.
Like some of the jackets that you sold me from Mateus is like, if I were somewhere else, like I would never find out who that brand was, So a lot of cool stuff that you guys are doing there. Really appreciate you so much. What's something, I know you take being a father and a husbend like very pride in, and it's very important roles that you carry.
Sure.
How did that taught you? How did that help you as a person or in the business that you're in, being a father, being a husband, being a family man?
Um, it's a very odd thing when you have a child, um, because it teaches you things that nothing else can. And the amazing thing is, you go into that thinking, I will have a child and I will teach them about the world. And certainly that happens. But the very unexpected thing that actually happens that you didn't see coming is the child teaches you about life.
100%.
And the first thing is you learn patience.
Patience.
The other thing is you learn about true love. Your love for your child is the only completely unqualified love that you will feel in life. If you meet the love of your life and marry, that's phenomenal. And I don't want to say it's qualified, because you can love them wholeheartedly as I do. But still, they have lived decades before you met. They come with their own ideas and things like this. So it's different from the utterly pure, unqualified love you feel for a child.
Wow. Such a beautiful statement out there.
Thank you.
No, fatherhood is something that's really special to me as well, because I think out of all of the, all of the titles that I carry, businessman, investor,
Entrepreneur.
podcast entrepreneur,
Handsome dude about town.
No, that's the complete opposite, man. Don't hype me. Jeff's my hype, man. But podcast host. I think being a father is my favorite title, because at the end, nothing else matters. Nothing else matters except those three little ones. They give me a purpose in life, because I'm sure you will agree. We all have to have a purpose in life. And
purpose versus rewarding, because I know you find your career rewarding.
Yeah.
But your primary purpose.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful title, man. Congratulations and thanks for the gems. If you could give one advice to the young professionals out there, what would you say?
Interesting, and I think you have shaped this in watching what you say, and that is putting in the time and the determination and the day in, day out showing up and caring about it. That, I think, is what makes you a success. And I saw a brief post the other day, and it was like, I don't know where it was, this gentleman was speaking, but he was saying, the advice is follow your passion. And he's going, you don't even have to find your passion. You probably don't even know what it is yet.
Yeah.
But put in the time and be serious about what you're doing. And you will find success.
Yeah, 100%. He's right. A lot of people used to say, follow your passion. I think it's the biggest scam. I'm serious. Passion don't pay the bills, like go out there and do what you're good at. I think Mark Cuban said this, if I'm not mistaken, go out there and find what you're good at. Master craft. Roll your sleeves up every morning, and then that should be your passion. But if I want to, I love meeting people. I'm a social guy. I love doing stuff like this, but this cannot cover my living means. So it's just so stupid for me to say I'm just going to stick with my passion.
Well, one of the hardest ways to make a living is an artist.
Yeah.
And if your passion is to be an artist, it's probably because you maybe can't survive unless you get this image out of you, unless you share what it is you're seeing with the world.
Yeah.
But if you're thinking, oh, I like art, I want to be an artist, that's probably not your calling, and then you go, well, what should I paint next?
Yeah.
I think of a true artist as someone who will almost die unless they don't give birth to the next concept that they've got.
Yeah.
That's a true artist. That's a true artist. Although David Bowie, and I love this quote, creativity is knowing what to steal.
Yeah, exactly. Stuff like that is like really, something that's really moving, but to me, just trying your very best, effort, because we're not motivated every day,
The grind, man.
It's the grind of the discipline, right?
And feel that way, and the discipline. That's the other term you use.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm really big on
I'm
discipline.
saying put your heart into it.
Yeah, every day. There are days that I'm not really motivated, but discipline keeps me, because I'm gonna show up no matter what. Every morning, you see me on your timeline.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show up every single morning because there's this thing called discipline that really gets me going.
Well, if you want to stay in shape, and you have a routine of exercises,
Yeah.
Do you do them when you want to, or do you do them each day at a certain time?
I think
Who's going to be the healthier person ultimately?
Right.
The discipline will get you there.
Yeah, 100%. The discipline, because you're not motivated to go to the gym every single day. I'm not. There are days that I'm not really. I'm like, forget it.
Yeah.
I'm just too busy. But if you want to make a lot of doctor visits, you can make you can make that choice, right? Or if you want to
take care of yourself, it's a big deal.
Yeah. What does your morning routine include? What do you do when you wake up?
I naturally wake up before my wife.
Okay.
So I have a little bit of time to myself in the morning, which is taking the dog out. And each morning I go out and throw the Frisbee for Dory.
Okay.
And it's a great routine. We love it. She knows what's coming. She's all excited. She picks up the Frisbee and we go out and throw that. And then we come in and I give her breakfast.
Nice.
And then
true gentleman.
Yeah, it's totally fun. This house is still my own at this point. And then after feeding her, I set out the supplies to make the morning beverages. Okay. So I make my wife hot chocolate from scratch every morning.
Wow, every morning.
Every morning, and I get the ingredients out, and I make myself a latte every morning. I want to say from scratch, but I'm buying beans from you or somebody else, and grinding them immediately before, and so assembling our two beverages in the morning, and then basically once she is awake and comes down, we've got our beverages, and then we sit and relax and talk, and or if there's news, we'll talk about that. But my time in the morning, if I have time to kill before she wakes up, I'll look at Instagram. That's when I get to catch up on the world of fashion. Like I think of it as a GQ magazine, and it's only the pictures. I don't have to read anything. I can flip through and I can see what people wear. I find it's very relaxing for me because it's a passion for me. But it also has helped me professionally because I follow various influencers around the world, and I understand what is changing in fashion, and understand that fashion is not going to reach the marketplace for a while, but it will give you a direction overall. So if somebody wants to buy a skinny suit from me, like 5 years ago, I'll say, it's not the direction, and what you're looking for, although I can provide it, will date this product faster than if I sell you this. So being able to teach customers about not just what it is they want, but maybe what they might want next year, helps them make a better investment.
Wow.
So that's the morning routine up to there. Then my wife and I will do stretches and some exercises together, and then off to the day, whether it be to work or walk the dog on a day off or go for a bike ride.
Wow, that is so great.
It's a great start to
and
the day.
And very, very inspiring. I can't say the same about me.
You're disciplined.
Yeah, I'll try. But it's those little things, that really make a huge difference. And to the young men out there listening, that's a whole lot of gems out there.
The repetition is comfort, and comfort is relaxing. And if you can go into each day centered because you have done your routine and you're relaxed in it, it's a beautiful thing. It kind of sets you up for success in the day.
No, comfort is relaxing. It is. When you're comfortable, you're relaxed. Very, very beautiful, man. No, seriously, it's
Thanks.
something that inspires me to be a better person, a better husband, better father. And hearing these kind of stories or routines, it's just just want to make you do those things.
Yeah.
And
And
then
have a shared routine really centers you.
yeah, for sure, for sure. What else?
The rest of my day?
Yeah, not
Or in
you
life?
know, or in life. Yeah, any specific things that
You know, I
you
read
want to
something
touch.
on Instagram, and that is, if you want to be perceived as a cool person, um, then you're trying to be cool. And as you get older, you accept that not everything is cool, and acceptance of not necessarily being cool is the coolest thing ever. So you go through this cycle to become cool by ignoring the cool.
Yeah.
And that somebody said this is the geezer philosophy on being really cool. So like once cool doesn't matter to you anymore.
Yeah.
How cool is that?
No, it's very interesting. It's very interesting because once you try too hard, you know, you're probably not.
Yeah,
you
and
know,
those are the guys wearing the Louis Vuitton logos everywhere.
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton makes a great product, but you have to be their ad.
No, definitely not. And I'm so sorry. You know, I don't really, you know, judge people that much. But sometimes, you know, my coworkers and I, when we work in creating content, we always talk about that. You know, we talk about our marketing director and I. You know, we talk about that sometimes when you're telling people, "Oh, I'm wearing money." And I'm screaming, please look at me, you know, versus the minimal things, you know, like Xenia t-shirts, even, you know, with their streetwear, you know, just the Z, you know, or the small Xenia, you know, Brunello doesn't have anything, you know, so it's like, you know, stuff like that you have to be really appreciative of. Let's go back to the fashion for a little bit before we go here. What is, and I've asked you this question in the store before.
Okay.
For the podcast, what's the one piece that will never go out of style that every man should have?
Wow. It has changed in my lifetime. It used to be a blue blazer.
Okay.
Because it was suit-like, wasn't as expensive, still gave you a tailored garment that you could dress up in, casual, and you could relax. I think it could still be a blue blazer, tremendously functional, but because tailored clothing really isn't in the marketplace these days, it might be something not unlike what you're wearing, where it's the new magic third piece.
Yes.
And it could be a sweater. It could be a shirt jacket like that. But if you've got a nice functional piece that flatters you, you can go a really long way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. No, appreciate you. What do you say about people who wear dark sunglasses indoors, especially at night? I had to ask you that, you know.
They're cool.
Cool.
So I'll tell you a funny story. I'm being driven by I don't know if it was Uber or taxi, but by this is in Amsterdam.
Oh, one of my favorite cities.
And I'm going from a boat to a really nice hotel.
Yeah.
And the guy driving it was a van, and he was describing this hotel we were going to. Yeah. And he says, this is the kind of hotel where people wear sunglasses indoors. And by saying this, he's saying they're celebrities. They're like fashion-y. They're known people. Yeah. And they're wearing sunglasses indoors. That was like his definition of cool.
Of course.
I happen to think it's a little impolite.
Yeah. In fact, I think
indoors, you know, you're clearly not fighting off sun unless you just came from the eye doctor and your eyes are diluted. There isn't a reason to have the shades there.
Yeah.
So what are you hiding?
Exactly. In fact,
look me in the eye.
Right.
It's a sign of respect.
No, it is. I think I've done that once, and somebody replied to my story and said, "You're so disrespectful."
Oh, there we go. The term itself, disrespectful.
Yeah, seriously.
And I said it's respectful to be able to look you in the eye.
Yeah, absolutely. and I hope I can pull that out. You know, I'm not lying. And I took that as I took that to heart. You know, I felt like this follower, you know, really, they don't know me that much. They're following me and they're telling me how to conduct my, you know, business or whatever, you know, and.
But if it has improved your life, what they did was a kindness.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked the question because, from that point, I never saw it as a problem wearing sunglasses indoors, even though it makes you look goofy, But if you want to do it, go ahead and do it. It's your life, nobody else's, right?
Yeah.
But since that time,
you certainly won't be perceived of as friendly. You'll be perceived of as aloof.
Yeah, for sure.
And if that's the signal you want to send, you just learned how to do it.
Yeah, for sure. But thanks for clarifying it. The old school fashion is coming back. The wide leg jeans, the wide leg pant.
Okay, I was wondering where you were going with this.
Yeah, right. The cuffs. Do you want to talk about that? How I know people used to be into skinny stuff. The slim.
Yeah.
But now people tend to like relaxed. I like relaxed.
It's more comfortable.
More comfortable.
There's an influencer I follow of England. His name is Ruben, and I forget the rest. In any event, he likes suits, so he always wears suits. So he's this, 20-year-old-ish kid, and he's just wearing suits everywhere. And doing that in today's environment, you kind of stand out.
Yes.
So that's his jam. And what he has said is, people say I look like a grandpa. Because he's in a suit. And that's sort of the generation that was always in suits. And what he says, and I really like, is I take that as a compliment. So I'm thinking you're turning this on your head. A, it's his jam, but B, he's dressed up. Okay. And grandpa was dressed up. I know my grandpa was dressed up pretty much all the time. There weren't jeans that you wore on there because those were for working. He would be in dress trousers and a dress shirt, sort of anywhere and everywhere at the Sunday dinner and around the table and all that.
Yeah, no, those guys were.
So I like that it's coming back. I think it's elegant. Whenever I see a performing band on stage, I want to say a rock band, but even that's like a dated concept. When I see performers wearing suits on stage, and you occasionally do, I think, oh yeah, that's cool. They've dressed up.
70s with the long collar and
in any form. I just think, okay, tailored clothing is getting a representation in a newer, younger environment, and I applaud it.
Yeah, I love it. I'm not a big fan of the slim stuff anymore.
Yeah.
In fact, I think I got rid of all of my slim jeans.
Well, slim ushered a lot of technology into the world of clothing, because if you want your clothes to fit you tight, you still have to be able to move in them.
Yeah.
So suddenly now, all cotton jeans have a percentage of lycra or something in there that gives them stretch. So we're putting fibers next to us that weren't a generation ago. And putting those in our clothes means we're putting them in the washer, which means we're putting microplastics into the environment every time we do this.
Yes.
There's a great designer out of New York named Emma Gage. And she started designing things, and her purpose was to keep plastic out of the environment and or what would be the natural stream of water that goes through your washing machine, kind of thing. And I think it was a really beautiful concept to recognize that, and then try and build clothing that wouldn't be slowly deteriorating the environment and our world. I mean, there's some horrifying statistic about what percentage of plastic we all carry because we've been exposed to it. So if you can make clothes a little looser, guess what? They get to be pure ingredients again.
Yeah.
So now you're not in something that's part lycra or part this or that. Yeah. You're in 100% wool. It came off a sheep. Okay, that's good stuff.
Yeah, no, it's great. In fact, I bought my first bell-bottom pants 2 years ago, I think.
Cool.
And I think they're phenomenal. I love them.
Yeah.
They're a little bit, just so comfortable.
Yep.
Just so comfortable.
And this is a case of where I said on Instagram, I'm exposed to what will be coming down the pipe. So a couple of years ago, I stopped buying skinny jeans because I'm thinking, I have enough of these. I don't need a new pair ever again. ever again. It's cyclical.
Yeah.
So I started buying wider legs. Now, they weren't in the mainstream denim brands yet. So the leaders in the fashion world, like I got Ismail Moran pants, I got Etro pants, I got Dries Van Noten pants, and then
Etro is so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
You get a little wider leg ahead of where the other, where the population's going to slowly catch up to that trend in fashion. And to this day, if I try and say to a guy, "Oh, we shouldn't be looking at the skinny legs. We should get some a little looser. You'll get more longevity, get them more for their money." They're still a little like, "Oh, but I really like that slim look."
Yeah, no,
Okay,
definitely.
you can like it, and you can like it to the point where wear it forever if you want. But if you want to look current, I'm not going to say fashion, current, then go a little wider. We're on the countdown clock.
We are. My friend, first off, before I say thank you, if you ever need a great piece of suit made or anything, I'm going to put Jeff's all handles, socials on our podcast.
But can I say something?
Yes.
I'm retiring at the end of this year.
Wow. So you had to wait.
December 31st will be my last day.
So you had to wait. This breaking news.
So I very much love and appreciate the reference.
Yeah.
But there are phenomenal people at the store who will do a job for you that I will not be there to do anymore.
Okay.
Wow. Off into the wild.
Okay. So you really had to wait for you to tell me this on a live segment.
Shocking news! This just in.
Yeah, right? that would be the headlines of this segment. But yeah, you've heard the man. He's gonna be retiring at the end of the year, but it's still great people out there at Martin Patrick. So go out there and see them. But I'm so honored for you to be here today.
My pleasure.
Thanks for the gems. Thanks for the inspiring, fashion stories and the tips. Most importantly,
Absolutely.
So
you get old, you get wise.
For sure. I hope you learned so much from Jeff, as much as I did. Until next episode.
Thank you,
my friend. What a pleasure. We'll take 10 pictures and but congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I already sent you.